What's up? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Happy Sunday to my peeps. What's going on? Let's talk about the couples on Couples Retreat on VH1. And let's get into it. Let's talk about Falynn Pina, aka Falynn Gubadia, aka Portia, took her husband. Like, child, a whole lot going on in this situation. And, when it comes to Jalen Banks, he's 23. I think she was 34 when they filmed this. But they saying that they ain't together, that they are broken up, okay? So they must have broken up after they filmed this show. But in any event, they still could be together. Who knows what they trying to do? But in any event, Jalen got on TV, baby. And he basically said that he is tired. It's too much pressure. It's too much work. It's too much to do, child. He said taking care of Falynn and her two sisters. Oh my God. Like, Falynn got a 24-year-old taking care of her two sisters, her three kids, and the kid that he got with her. Okay, he's a stand-up guy for a young man, but it seems like he wants his freedom, and Falynn wants her freedom too as well. But Falynn responded to the whole situation on social media, yesterday, basically saying that because people was like, girl, like, you got this man taking care of you, your sister, and your three kids, and the child he got with you, and taking care of himself. Like, where we do that at? Okay. And he don't got the Simon Gubadia budget, but Falynn posted to, her social media, her stories, and basically said that she did not want her sisters to live with her. She tried to tell Jalen, hey, please, no, don't do this. So Jalen and, Falynn's mother agreed that the sisters can come live with them. And basically the mother was giving Jalen, money monthly for the two sisters. And Falynn said it wasn't a lot. And she was totally against it. And she basically says Jalen ain't never paid all the bills. How he pay all the bills? Where he get that money from? Where we do that at? That's what she's saying on this post, as you can see. And she's basically saying he ain't pay all the bills. Okay. He agreed. Yes, he's young. He's immature. He didn't understand carrying the weight of two other women, having three sisters together, what that was going to bring, and that drama with that whole situation, because he's too young. He is a child. And then, Falynn's basically saying that everything that Jalen want, he got. Maybe he shouldn't have got everything he want because he's a child, okay? Now he's going to go somewhere where the answer is no, 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 no. And she goes, and Jalen never paid all of the bills by himself ever. So this is what Falynn's saying. Yes, this is a whole situation. Lord have mercy. I know she wish she would have waited. I know she wish she would have took her time, baby. But I don't know what was going on with Falynn, choosing Jalen, being with Jalen, having a relationship with him and everything, when he was 22, 21, and she was 32, 31. Like, you know what I mean? You already got three kids. You've been married twice or maybe once, and you have experienced a whole lot. Now you're bringing this young boy in, and baby, you didn't train him. You didn't give him his house training and everything like that, so it's a whole situation. I don't know how she thought that it was gonna work. I think she was very delusional. Sometimes we can get very delusional. When you start a relationship, it's 50-50 whether it may work or whether it may not. But when you start a relationship, with a man that is 23, and then she preferred to him as Jalen was a kid. Jalen's a kid, and now he has to go do these adult things and blase and the third. You already knew he was gonna have a problem with it. Your kids have a problem with probably doing adult things when they have to take care of themselves and be responsible for themselves. Now Jalen is taking care of you, your sister, and how you think that was gonna work, child? Lord have mercy. God bless Jalen. He was sitting there taking the foot in the bill, but she said, he did a little bit. This is a whole mess. And then, Falynn basically said that she doesn't trust men, and things of that nature because men have hurt her. She was molested, and she don't want her daughters around no man other than their father. And that's just the case. And she's just struggling with a whole lot of past regret, past hurt, past abuse. And baby, she jumped with a 24-year-old that don't really understand. He's talking about my past trauma. What 23-year-old talk about my past trauma? That's a man. And then, Falynn is getting upset because he want to go chill with the boys. He is 23 years old. He don't want to sit up under you, Netflix, and chill and watch movies. He want to drink. He want to smoke. He want to do hookah. He want to do all that. She talk about I want to break up with him because he wants to hang with his friend's child. You already know you with a child. Stop it, girl. But in any event, it seems like they broke up, and it's probably for the best. And Falynn just needs to find herself, and she needs to find out what she really wants and how she gonna heal, because the host of the show, AJ Johnson, said, girl, you guys need to separate. I ain't never seen her come out her mouth like that. But in any event, let's move on from that situation. Let's talk about Apollo is being called out by Breezy, okay, on the show, basically saying that he's controlling to Shireen and things of that nature. And Apollo kept saying, I'm not controlling. I don't know what Breezy is talking about. It was nice that me and Breezy could do this exercise together, get the bulls, into the, gates or whatever. And I'm so glad that, she let it go and she's not calling me controlling. Then Apollo turned around and showed controlling behavior as far as when it was a hypnotized therapist or whatever the case came in, and he didn't want to be hypnotized. He didn't want Shireen to be hypnotized. And as she was trying to, get hypnotized and just feel the vibration and feel the vibes of everything, he kept nudging her to wake up, don't do this, because he was totally against it. And I totally get that, because I've asked some males in my life that were family members and that were friends, like, hey, let's go get hypnotized for this and this and that, and it was like, oh no, we're not gonna play with our minds, we're not gonna play with this, we're not gonna play with that. Oh, they was totally against it. I mean, I don't know why you guys are against getting hypnotized. They just think that it's the end of the world. And Apollo kept nudging her, and she was like, yeah, I feel disrespected, Apollo, because you kept nudging me and you wouldn't let me make the choice of myself to get hypnotized, and not because you want to make the decision for me and us. And it seems, and then Apollo have been getting called out on like having anger issues, being controlling, putting his arms a certain way, folding his hand like a stance, where there's blockage, where he's not trying to let anything in, he's not trying to receive anything. And it just seems like he has so much regret, so much hurt, so much pain. And it just seems like, he felt like things should be better. And then he's trying to protect his wife Shireen, because they recently got married. And he started this reality TV thing with Phaedra, and she was the teacher, she was the coach, she was showing him how to do this, she was explaining to him. And plus he had a little bit more respect for Phaedra because of her knowledge and her and where she come from and what she know and how she did the things, and how she would run these plays. And now he got to run these plays. He got to be very guarded for himself and for his wife, and her not listening to him. You could see that it kind of bothered him. And then she came out and she said, yes, you are controlling. Yes, you. And Apollo checked her in that room, child. You know what I mean? He wants to be in this reality TV thing, but it just really seems uncomfortable for him. It seems like he was comfortable around Sheree, but when he came on the Real Housewives of Atlanta last season, it just seemed like him and Phaedra are comfortable with each other, because Phaedra is comfortable doing her thing, but it doesn't seem like Phaedra's comfortable when she's filming with other men. You know what I mean? And maybe they should film together with Shireen or whoever, and just dish out their relationship and what happened, what went down. How does Shireen feel being brought into the spotlight where Apollo started with Phaedra first, and then Apollo, getting released from prison, the back and forth he had with, his former wife, Phaedra, would not seeing the children. How did that work out? Just how they are dealing with this whole situation. Is there hatred? Is there regret between one another? And, people would like to finish that story, and Real Housewives of Atlanta is missing out, because having Phaedra and Apollo, conquered their issues and their things that they went through public, a lot of things that they have not let out yet about what all went down between them. And then also Apollo addressing the situation, when it comes to Candy, and that's a whole big story. But right now Candy's doing so many big things. She's on Broadway now. Her, and her husband Todd Tucker are producing a Broadway show, baby. And I think Apollo feels a certain type of way because Bravo didn't really come out with welcoming arms, and the fans, they did come out for him a little bit, but then he probably felt slighted. And I think Phaedra felt slighted a little bit too as well, but Phaedra's been pushing this reality TV and she still got some friends. Okay, so y'all tell me what y'all think about that whole situation. But yes, Apollo kept trying to act like he wasn't mad because Breezy was saying that he was controlling, and he kept trying to deflect. And it just seemed like talking to him sometimes when you're discussing things and you want to get your opinion across, is like talking to a brick wall, especially if he doesn't respect you. So we got that whole situation. Apollo did apologize to Shireen for his behavior, for him not letting her for him not being letting her, do the do the hypnotize, situation. But it is what it is. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this whole situation. Apollo. Moving on from that. So we got Kendra. Kendra basically dishes the tea on her relationship with JOC, and she lets us know that yes, she has been pregnant by JOC before, but she went and had a procedure not to keep the baby because basically she doesn't want to add on to JOC's pressure because of all the broken homes he have created. And she says she don't want to create another broken home or add pressure to JOC. And basically she's talking about JOC, being out here having all these kids with these different women, and it's just ridiculous. And she's basically holding it down, making sure they get their money, making sure the kids are taken care of, making sure that everything is all set, that that everything is good. Okay, so she got a lot of pressure, and right now she's not looking forward to having a baby by JOC. Okay, that man done cheated on her. She's not having protection, she's not having safe sex with him. He's out here having sex with this person, that person. Girl, it would be mandatory for him to put a condom on, because you never know when JOC is going to mess up. JOC is going to give you a good 2 years, a good 3 years, good 4 years, but then he's going to get impulsive, and basically something's going to trigger him, and he's going to run out and do what he normally does. And this is what JOC's sister told Kendra. But Kendra loves JOC. She wants to be with him, and she's trying to change him. So therefore she is going through the ocean and the motion, and she's doing everything to hold on to her love of hooligan. She's trying to keep him, she's trying to change him. And JOC is going for it. JOC is in church, JOC is doing this. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but Kendra is kind of like the best thing that ever happened to JOC, and she got her ish together. Okay, but in any event, Kendra is broken because of her childhood, and she picked a man just like her father, which is JOC. Okay, she's trying to save him. Sometimes they don't want to be saved, but right now JOC wants to be saved, child. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that whole situation. And Kendra, you marry JOC. And then AJ, the host, is like, you marry JOC, you with JOC, you know who he is, baby. If you marry an alcoholic, you marry a crackhead, you marry a meth head, you marry an abuser, that's who you marry, that's who he gonna be, baby. He wasn't nothing different when you marry him. He was the same person he was when you met him, child. If he ain't changed by now, he ain't gonna never change. But moving on from that whole situation, let's get into Shamari DeVoe and Ronnie. Okay, they are on the show. They've been on the show 2 seasons so far, and it seems like Ronnie is so open. He wasn't open on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but you know what they say about Shamari, and I love me some Shamari, that they had an open relationship. Ronnie didn't want all that business out there. And it seems like when it comes to Shamari, she was, liking that kitty cat, liking that punkash, liking that ooh ah, liking that wee. Let me stop. So, and sometimes when Shamari gets, intoxicated, some of the lesbian or, mannerism or, the feelings or the talking come out of Shamari, okay? When she get a little liquor, so she got to be walking on eggshell, because that really bothers Ronnie, because, their marriage was almost over by letting somebody in. So, that woman was out there shaking it, girl. She was doing a butterfly out there. So in any event, when it comes to Ronnie, he basically talks about Breezy, and Breezy's from Empire. She's on the show with her girlfriend or her wife, and he said she got a strong personality. And also Apollo's feeling a certain type of way about Breezy, because she ain't taking no ish, you know what I mean? She got a backbone, she's speaking up, you ain't gonna keep her quiet. And Shamari is looking at Ronnie like, you better not say nothing disrespectful about Breezy and her relationship, because only reason why you're gonna be disrespectful, you feel a certain type of way because a woman almost snatched your wife. Okay, so she's looking at him like he better not be disrespectful because you're gonna see some lesbian mannerisms, okay? And so he was like, yeah, she got a very strong personality, very, very, very strong. Okay, she's looking at her, and then they cut to, and then Shamari was like, I love the way Breezy loves her girlfriend or her wife. Like, they are meant to be. They're so beautiful. And I believe the wife or the girlfriend loves Breezy so much that she let Breezy control the situation, basically bigging up how their relationship is. And it's a lesbian relationship, and she know that's getting under Ronnie's skin, in my opinion, because he's very, he don't really want to talk about that moment in time, and thinking that Shamari wants some cootie coo, and then on top of that wants some poom cash, some she wants some she wants some strawberry flavor, okay? And that's a whole situation. But also AJ asks Ronnie and Shamari, how is their sex life, and would it last another 10 years the way it's going? And Shamari was like, oh yeah, she was moving her arms, her hips, her thighs, her shoulders, and she was coming towards Ronnie saying, yeah baby, yes, it's going to, we got it. And then Ronnie says, I don't think we're going to last another 10 years with this sex life. I was like, what, Ronnie? What, Ronnie? Ronnie, why you go there? Like, are you becoming TV? Are you becoming TV? He said, I don't know if we're going to make it there. Shamari was just like, what? Ronnie, stop being messy.